In Bushwick, Brooklyn, it's common to see places like this, or this, but far less common to see this. A fully functioning aquaponics farm, a hybrid between aquaculture, raising fish, and hydroponics, which grows plants without soil.
It's really nice to see people walk through the gate and turn around the corner and see this beautiful space, because it's the last thing that they're expecting.
Oko Farms was co-founded by Yemi Amu, and much like the Yoruba deity it was named after, Oko Farms is dedicated to making healthy food plentiful and accessible to everyone. Lack of access was a problem she encountered while working as a nutritionist for home housing mentally ill adults.
Unfortunately, many of them could not afford the healthier food options that I was suggesting to them. And I seriously started thinking about how to create more access to healthy foods. And that's how I started looking into urban farming.
But before she and co-founder Jonathan Bowe planted the seeds that would become Oko Farms, it was important to them that the community was on board.
Before we even started, before we even opened the gate, we went around and just talked to people in the community, the business owners on the block, and everyone around, asking, how would you feel about a farm being started on this block? And like 97% of the response was, listen, anything good that can come out of this lot would be good, because it's such a problem in the community. A lot of unsavory activity happens right in front of that lot. It would be nice to see something good come out of it.
3 years later, a lot of goods are coming out of the farm. Produce that grows up to 3 times faster than plants grown in soil is frequently sold to local organizations. The fish help sustain the aquaponics system and are also for sale as pets or as food. And the community continues to play an important role in the farm.
We get a lot of people who want to come in. We always tell people, you're always welcome to come in, but you have to come in with a kid. We encourage people to bring their kids in all the time. We work with school groups a lot throughout New York City, even New Jersey.
One of those schools is P373K, the Brooklyn Transition Center in Bushwick. The special needs students learn about plants and farming through hands-on games.
Good job. They're garlic chives. Someone said it smells like garlic. These are specifically garlic chives. Good job.
I just saw that. What do you like?
All right, so we're going to...
I don't think she likes that one. But coming to Oko Farms and learning about produce firsthand is vital to students, says Elizabeth Sandoval, a teacher at the school.
I grew up in Bushwick, and I think it's really nice for them to learn about urban farming, so hydroponics and aquaponics being included in that. I think it's important for them to learn about where their food comes from, but also to know that it would be possible for themselves to grow their food, because a lot of times we see food in the supermarket and they're not making the connection between where that food comes from. We learn a lot on the computer, we learn a lot from books, but to actually observe it and see it is so much more important.
19-year-old Isaiah Santiago agrees when he chimes in on his favorite part of the tour.
I liked it, but my favorite part was eating the plants.
The students of Brooklyn Transition Center got to learn about aquaponics today through taste, touch, and smell. But by coming to Oko Farms, they also learned a lesson that was a little less tangible.
For my kids, they might know about urban farming, but they're like, that's not really for me, because they don't see someone who looks like them being an urban farmer. But when they come and see people who look like them being urban farmers, then that's like more inspiring for them to actually do it.
Inspiring young people of color to go into urban farming and aquaponics is what Yemi hopes to do. But she acknowledges that as a black woman, the field comes with its challenges.
In aquaponics, there are not too many people doing aquaponics in New York City or in New York State. The only other people who I know that are doing it are white men, and they often have access to a lot more money. So they're taken more seriously. They're seen as like actual farmers, even though they're not necessarily farmers. They're coming from other fields that are not related to food. I have a nutrition background. I've been working in the community for years, but I'm still seen as a community gardener and not a farmer. And it could be a woman thing, it could be being a black woman thing. It's all kind of mixed up in there.
But for anyone looking to get into aquaponics, especially in New York City, there are obstacles that may make some want to jump ship. Money is a big one. Jonathan would know, having built Oko Farms with volunteers on a shoestring budget of $10,000. The typical system costs $50,000. Climate is another obstacle.
We really sort of went the most challenging route. We built an aquaponics system in the outdoors, in a part of the country where we experienced really strong climate changes. Not strong, but winter from summer. And that definitely makes it much more difficult when most of the fish that you're dealing with that work best in aquaponics really need a consistent temperature all year long, and that being a pretty hot temperature. It's forced us to work with fish that have a shorter growing period or can last all through the winter and summer. So right now we have koi, goldfish, catfish.
Having to work in a small, densely populated area presents still another challenge.
You're also dealing with different personality types, different expectations of people. I guess the biggest barrier that we've run up against is people not understanding what aquaponics is, understanding how it works, and that lack of understanding just creating fear.
Some of that fear can be dispelled with education, which is an important part of Oko Farms.
What kind of tea?
Mint tea.
Mint tea. Good job.
Expanding into teaching has also made the farm much more profitable than it would be from selling produce alone.
We do a lot of different things here that bring in enough money just to basically support the farm, pay for expenses. Those include education, tours, selling our produce. I honestly feel like this is true for any small farmer in America right now. You really have to diversify the types of things that you're doing to bring in income to your farm.
Diversity also extends into the ways prospective farmers can get involved in Oko Farms, from school internships to adult apprenticeship programs and work exchanges, all in service of providing healthy food for everyone.
We need food that is fresh. We need food that's local. We need food that's grown sustainably. And I really do believe that there's a future in urban farming for people of color because we're already doing it.
Reporting from Bushwick, Kizzy Cox for City Limits.